ever since men have been getting in touch with their feelings in this country, we've seen testosterone levels drop. And we've also seen a rise in just chaos in society.
They present an idea of what manhood is that is not real healthy masculinity. That's femininity. That's feminizing men.
There's certain parts of the happiness you're going to have to give up to make sure the family good. That's part of our journey as men. And you start to realize that, okay, that feeling, that emptiness, that hurt that I had, that's nothing, because I know that I can deal with it. I can take that pain. If that means my son gonna be straight, or my daughter gonna be happy, or my wife good, I'll take that for them. And a lot of men don't get to that point as fast as I guess the world wants us to.
Do you feel like that's going to have an effect on you, where it's like you're the only person in the household that's suffering, that's not getting outlet or somebody to lean on?
Hey man, that's why your dad cry when you get grown and you tell him you love him. That's why granddaddy sit there and he don't know what to say when you say, I love you, Pop, and he just, he been holding that. He didn't know that moment was the one that was going to make him, you know what I mean? He been sacrificing for this family for the last 40 years.
Is that healthy though?
So let me tell you, listen, but my validation comes in a form of when I walk in the house and my daughter running to me, and my son face light up when he see me. Yeah. Those small things is my validation.
Nah, I'm different. Say it. I need to hear you say it. Why should it only be the women that are getting that throughout their life, and we have to wait until we're in our rocking chair to finally get that verbal validation?
Yeah, I think I've been told so many lies. I'm going to show me.
Believe it or not, my wife sent me this. My wife was like, "What do you think of this?" This all depends on, quite frankly, who you choose. It's a two-way part for me. I never feel that doing what I have to do for my family that brings me joy. It does. And it also has to do with the people that you choose. I'm lucky to have a wife and 2 daughters. I mean, that literally once a week, twice a week, my daughter's asking, how is your mental health? Like, how do you feel? I know you do a lot. Like, you work all day and then you work at night and you do all of this stuff for us, and you go to all of our volleyball stuff, and you do all of our, how's your mental health? And I always say the exact same thing. When I'm around you guys and we're all together, that's when I'm at my happiest.
Reason, I think, gave a lot of touchy-feely stuff. And I think, Tyrone, you have a completely different view. So go ahead.
Well, I have a different experience. Someone asked me about a week ago, we just having general conversation. Someone asked me, did my brothers and I get beatings? And I said, no, we didn't. We got grabbed by the collar, put up against the wall, and maybe got a shot to the solar plexus. I was raised by almost all of the men in my family were in the military. About half of them were combat vets. Okay. Men of few words, a highly disciplined environment. And if you're a man, you're not talking about feelings. Okay. And mind you, my wife, she knows how I was raised. So at one point in our relationship, she was talking with me and one of my brothers, and she said, it sounds like y'all were abused. And my brother said, and I agree with this, he said, well, then we were abused. But we're grateful for it because we had men who brought us up to be fit for this world. Now, am I suggesting that someone else do the same? No, people's got to parent based on what, they think is appropriate. But I'm just saying there wasn't a lot of discussion about feelings, okay, with the males in the family. It was just duty, and this is your lot in life, and you're a provider, you're a protector. Do that and shut the fuck up about it, basically. So I'm not castigating anyone who has a different approach, but I will say that, and maybe it's not correlated, but it is coincidental that ever since men have been getting in touch with their feelings in this country, we've seen testosterone levels drop. That is a medical fact. And we've also seen a rise in just chaos in society. I think you need men to be very involved and very instrumental in maintaining a society. Otherwise, you get a lot of touchy-feely, permissiveness, live and let live, that I think we're living now, and we see that it's not so good for society.
Can I ask you a question? So do you believe that the woman you marry, making sure that you're okay, is a thing that we as men should not care about. I would think it's absolutely. I think it's important that your wife would look at you and be like, okay. Like there are days I come home and even though I look at her, I'm like, oh, dude, it's great. She knows I've been out all day, and she goes, you know what? And she looks at my daughter and goes, don't mess with daddy right now. And then they just turn and they just give me that time, like for them to know you well enough. That I don't think that has anything to do with being an emotional man. No, I was specifically speaking about the people that you choose caring about you enough to actually care about you, even though you are doing all the stuff that you're doing.
Well, if I understand the question correctly, I understand that my wife cares about me, but it's not something I need her to validate. She doesn't need to.
Not saying that at all. That's cool.
No, I'm just
not saying that at all. Because I
right.
just said that and I got gay as one response. And
Right,
then
but you didn't
this
get that
time
from
I'm
me,
like,
though.
no, I'm
Right.
not. I just thought that was a weird response. And I'm like, dude, why would you not care?
All right, so let Gimpy respond then.
Look, you know why you know what my issue is? It's because this isn't real. This is all artificial. We're talking about it. If I want to have emotional is not the right, but intimate conversation like that with one of my bros, I don't need a camera. Mm-hmm. That video, it's all theater. Those men are acting. It's virtue signal. It's just another form of social media virtue signaling. Those guys sitting around, dudes don't sit around and talk like that. Even when you're having those conversations, and at the moment, and I feel the most joy. You know, men who talk to each other like that, you call them gay. Dude, I'm sorry. Dude, we all hang out with men. We hang out with each other. Even when we're having conversations of that nature, it doesn't sound like that. That is inauthentic, unrealistic. It's putting on this image. They're painting a picture for you that we're so emotional. Dude, I'm a guy. I don't care how I feel because no one else cares how I feel because I still got to pay the mortgage tomorrow, keep the electric lights, run my office, do all the things I'm responsible for regardless of how I feel and whether anybody is emotionally supporting me or not because I have responsibilities. And all of us have that same problem. We all have that same existence. So when you look at dudes who are rich and living good lives and they're sitting there having these emotional, it's not real. That's not what's going on. They're doing that to present to everyone else a picture of what they want you to think this soft form of masculinity looks like. It's part of the fucking problem, man. I'm a guy. I don't care how I feel. I have to deal with the life in front of me, period. My wife loves me. I love her. I don't need her to tell me every 5 minutes. She tells me because it makes her happy. Yes, I'm happy to hear it, but dude, I don't need any of that. You know what I need? I need what you said, Chad, that when I need the space, people don't invade my space. I need my cues to be recognized. I don't need an emotional support rub. I don't need them to recognize the value of my contribution. I'm the king of the household. I'm the only one who needs to recognize what I do. I'm just saying, if you're the leader, then you accept that your people are going to have a view that they're going to have, that you lead, right? Your kids don't always, they love you as father, but they're not always in love with every single decisions you guys make, right? Every single, I don't need that. I have to lead for the bigger plan. You all guys talk. You guys are real. I'm not talking. I'm talking in terms of the video we watch.
I got you.
It's all staged. None of that is real. It's inauthentic. I think all of that is bullshit. It's totally gay. Not because men shouldn't be able to talk to each other, because that's not how men talk to each other.
In my experience, men are not trying to be popular. Men are doing things that have to be done, making decisions that need to be made. Damn how the rest of the family takes it, but you know that as captain of the ship, you're doing the right things. And they may not, realize that immediately, but you know what it's all about. And so you're not trying to win a popularity contest. And quite frankly, you know what? We as boys, we did not understand and appreciate the way we were raised until we got out into the real world. Okay. And that's why I say I would not change it for $1 billion.
Your dad raised you the way these guys are talking, how they say they talk, and we all know that isn't what they're doing. The real alpha men, they're just presenting that for clicks on the TV, on the YouTube and stuff. But if they were soft, if your parents were soft like that, you get bowled over by today's modern problems. If everything was in your feelings constantly, it was, suck it up, buttercup, because life gets harder, not easier, right? Like that, again, it's madness that we are.
I do tell my son love him. I tell my son, I say love you, boy, but then I'll punch him in the chest.
But that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, people have to stop buying the influencer lifestyle motif. It's not real. It's not authentic. No men sit around talking like that when they're sitting. Even the wealthy, unless they're ultra left softy. If you want to be an ultra left soft, feel free. You'll get bowled over by every single time your emotional state changes.
Mm.
You'll need anxiety pills for everything. You'll be able to overcome a blade of grass. I mean,
you know how we knew. You know how we knew. And my grandfather was the ultimate patriarch.
Same
World,
here. Wow.
World War II combat vet. Everybody in my family looked up to him.
Good
He was the commanding officer. And you know how we knew that he loved us? Because he never said he didn't. And he never expressed anything like that. But we were fed, we were clothed, and we were housed.
But even like when you think about even fatherhood, it's never my dad didn't tell me he loved me, right? It was, oh, my dad wasn't there, right? It's more of a presence versus emotional, right? It's more of a, like,
For who?
I mean, for everybody. I mean, for the child being raised, or for, you know, it's never like this whole touchy feely thing about, oh yeah, I never knew how much, you know, he didn't give me a hug, or like you knew. If your father was there, you knew. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever heard the term mom love and dad love or look different?
I mean,
have you ever heard that term before?
I mean, we know that's true. We just know that's true. Moms are nurturers, you know, dads are guiders and, you know, protectors. And but it's just like, you know, my dad never told me he loved me. You never hear that from anybody that's grown up. No, it's like, if your dad was there, no, my dad was there. But I you know, from, you know, just being real, I do think when you get older, though, when, you know, the young come back to the old and say, look, I just appreciate what you did. I think that is more of a respect thing than something that's desired, right? And then I think it is, you know, from a masculine point of view, like a badge of honor, like, because I do think as men, sometimes we don't know if we're being effective. We know we're just doing what we know to do, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know if this is really getting through. But when you hear that later down the line, I think that is kind of like maybe a prideful moment to say, hey, all right, man, you know.
Right, but are you going to go and express it like that to your male counterparts, like the dude who literally in the video, like, dude, yeah, no one's saying
I wouldn't cry about it. I'm like, yo, my dad was cool. I didn't really recognize, you know.
No, what I'm saying is the dude in the video made mention to that, right? That one of the things is you come and your kids say, I love you and all this stuff, right? And the positive feedback loop from fatherhood is basically what he was referencing. So you just referenced it again and how good it would feel. And you picked a specific moment of learning later, the seeds you sow young in your kid comes back later to benefit you, right? You go back and tell your dad when, you know, you're 40 that, you know, I really appreciate you kicking my ass as a kid, whatever, right? Dude, if you were the dad, are you going and telling your friends how that dude did it on the video with his legs crossed at the knees and shit? Or are you going to walk into the other room and silently smile to yourself and say, these are the moments that make it worth it? You don't need to share that with anyone else. You're happy to, but I'm saying, like, that's what I'm saying. They present an idea of what manhood is that is not real healthy masculinity. That's femininity. That's feminizing men. Men have to move forward regardless. Yep. You can't, there's no breaks for emotional stress.
That's true.
You're right. And I was thinking about this too, man. Like, you know, just how men communicate problems as well. You know, like, we never talk about exactly what we're going through. We just say, you know, I've just got this idea or just whatever. And then somehow, like, other men get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you know, I'm going through it.
You're doing it right now. Exactly. How you're doing it.
Yeah. It's like,
yes, but that's what I'm saying. This is what I mean. This is the real. This is authentic. This is four dudes having an intimate conversation. It's not what you showed us in that clip, bro. That clip is an influencer's image of what they think men who are alpha sit around doing, but none of those men are alpha. They just play one on the internet. Don't you understand? No matter how much money, no matter how many people they're responsible for, they're not actually leaders. Someone else is like, even the dude who was the whole center. I don't like, because I don't recognize all those guys, but the guy who was the center and leading the conversation, it's all, you can tell it's theatrical. It's not coming from a place of reality. It's coming from a place of invention.
You said your wife sent it to you, right?
Yeah, my wife sent that one to me.
So, I mean, I think that's an interesting progression, right? Because Gippy talked about it as being like kind of a feminine approach. It wasn't you that saw it, Reason. It was, you know, your wife that saw it and she sent it to you. And I think that's kind of like an interesting play on it. And it's kind of a way for her to communicate that she understands you.
Taking lemons and making lemonade. I like this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm explaining it right, because
No, I get what you're saying, dude.
Gippy, you're like, man, this is a feminine way of approaching it.
Yeah, but you're turning it because it caught
No. Okay, I see what you're getting at. See, you're saying it's a feminine way of approaching it because of the way that the responses and the answers were made.
Well, the video was feminine.
She just asked her thing was the question.
But it came up on her feed, right? It came up on her feed for her to send to you.
Okay, but I mean, sure, it could have been.
It wouldn't have come up on your feed. Is the point?
How do you know that?
Because
it didn't come up on your feed.
Yeah,
she controls all of my stuff. She sends me. I don't have time to look at social
media.
Oh,
dude, you're missing his question. His question is,
dude, it is what it is. I responded to the question. My email, all of my social media emails. Because I don't have time to do any of that stuff.
Your feed all the time. Look, you're telling us.
What I'm saying.
I think another thing reason is that, so I do acknowledge that there are some differences in terms of raising sons versus daughters, because in the same family that I just described, the girls were treated totally different. Okay,
I was treated different than my father.
We were.
I was raised by
right.
I was raised by a Ghanaian father.
And I think
so I know like I get the West African aspect. That's why I turned out the way. That's why I say some of the stuff that I say, because I really believe that culture is ingrained in me. It really is.
And that's a highly masculinized culture. Also, is that correct?
Oh yeah, like the beatings that y'all talk. Yeah, I did get them. Get the switch. Yeah,
you're hiding behind your name tag right now. Reason.
Who's that? Yeah,
you're hiding behind your name tag.
It's like
you're done. Dude, all I'm saying is this. I think that in a society such as the one that we live in, which is extremely comfortable, and many times comfort can be the enemy. So I've never been one, and I'm just talking about my experience. I'm not suggesting, what others should do, but like they're getting into the weeds of their feelings and, analyzing their emotions. And I'm like, just move forward, guys. Just move forward. Do you really have time for all that?
Yeah.
Do you really? So,
yeah. But I will say this though. I mean, I think it is good to have people around you can counsel with. I'll say you should have a wisdom counsel around you, right? You're not publicly sharing all that, and you're not airing your therapy sessions. But I do think it is wise to have counsel around you so you can, seek direction from outside of your own mental capacity, right? I just think that's why we read books. That's why we, go to church or fellowship or what have you, is because your own thinking got you to where you are. Sometimes you need a different idea or a different approach, but that requires communication. But I agree with what you guys are saying about the whole. Well, what do you feel? Well, what do you feel? I'm feeling this. Well, I'm feeling this. Oh, well, how did that make you feel? Let's unpack that. All that. All that stuff. Yeah.
Walk out of the room. I'm just telling you now. If you ever ask me to unpack anything, that's where the conversation ends, man.